So today is going to be an exciting show. It's not going to be as long as the others, so we'll try to be within the 60 minutes window.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go through the process.
Are you gonna have other panelists on with me?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if some of the others are coming in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that short video, Richard, and then we'll get a chance to discuss the video. And then what we're gonna do is actually look at the tablet, how to create programs, unique customized programs using the tablet, so that we can get people into digging into the technology.
Yeah.
But also getting people to understand the why behind and the purpose behind this technology, how it's going to be impactful. Today we look at the science, because each phase we've been working on, Richard, is to guide everybody to self-direct, to internalize, and still have the wisdom to be able to guide themselves in the process and not feel overwhelmed with the information. So I'm excited.
I want to share something I did with you. So
okay.
I took my Qi Coil Max, put it on my chest.
Okay.
And it was monitoring my oxygen level. It went from 95 to 100 within like 30 seconds.
Excellent.
So, I mean, that shows you what this stuff is doing.
It does.
And one problem I have is I get mucus that accumulates and I have trouble coughing it up. Put the Qi Coil on my chest. 5 minutes later, I can cough it right up. No problem.
There you go. And that's training the body. We're training the body with the frequency. But again, going back to that.
Oh, I love
this technology. Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. It's just the best.
Yeah, because people out there sometimes are critics of this technology, and they don't understand the reasoning behind it and how and the actionable wisdom behind it. Because a lot of people out there pushing quick fixes, and I think people get caught up in that. And when they don't see that response, they get frustrated. But I think this technology is technology that you train yourself with. And again, today is going to be a great show, because today you're going to see why you need to train yourself with it. Because there's so many things that we're attached to, like belief.
Jossie, so I create my own custom programs that I run every night. So I start with my sinuses, then I go to my lungs, and then I go to just soothing, and then I go to luck. And so throughout the 8 hours that I'm asleep, it's running all these different frequencies on me. So that's the way to go. Excellent. I don't waste a moment, and all day it's running frequencies. So yeah, forever frequencies.
Excellent. If anybody out there want to join us on being a panelist today with us, raise your hand. I will add you to us, because this is our community. Just want to get everybody involved in the process. So I see some hands going up. Tony says, I want to be in. Put me in right now. I got you, Tony. Okay. Tony is in. Maurice is in. I know Maurice has been a struggle trying to go back and forth, but I'm raising Maurice. Come in. Anybody else you want to jump in? This is our community. This is not just Mr. Gallizia or Jossie or Richard. This is all of us really interacting with this technology. And Maurice, I do have something to share with you today as well. I receive a download. When I get these downloads, typically they're mostly absolute. So that's why I need to get in touch with you outside of here, so we can work and talk through that process. Okay. So we got to definitely find time. Maurice, let me see if I got Maurice in. Let's see if I can get Maurice in. Anybody else you want to jump in? Again, I want to have a constructive conversation today. One of the things I believe in is simplicity, right? I do not believe in complicating things that makes it uncomfortable for people to follow actionable wisdom. Simplicity is a genius way of actually communicating. The geniuses of the world are 5 and 6 year olds. So typically when I'm dealing with people, I always tell them, talk to me like I'm a genius, talk to me like I'm 5 or 6 years of age, right? Because of divergent thinking. We need simplicity, not complexity. And we need simplicity within complex situations, so we can understand the fundamental elements that actually build that up. Because when we talk about understanding something, a lot of people have a tendency to put their weight upon an idea or a belief system, never going to the bottom and seeing what is the foundational pillars that holds it up. So we got all these people standing on these ideas, and these ideas are not valid most of the time for all of us. And so a lot of times they end up collapsing, and then that's when we go through these emotional trauma. We have to learn to understand by going under, what are these ideas coming from, and how does it best align and serve me? And that is going to be something we want to also discuss today. So I want you guys to keep that in the back of your mind. I know how do we educate the world, because this technology is meant for the world. I'm working on a project. If anybody out there wants to support this project, I would like to see this technology in every school. And there's a reason, right? Because the next generation and the elders, we are responsible to commit to, and a lot of people out here that talk a lot of nonsense, but our ultimate legacy is the next generation, and our wisdom is given to us by way of our elders. And we are neglecting the elders, and we are neglecting the next generation. And that's a huge problem that I see, that a distortion that I see. And the way to fix it, we can become reactive or we can be proactive. This technology in the hands with, especially individuals that are aware and educated about this technology, can transform their reality. And today you will see the science behind that. And if you can transform the reality of a child, then at the end of the day, where the child is coming from before they get to school is no longer my business, because my job is to equate that frequency. And the law says, when that child is vibrating on the frequency that best serves him or her, the environmental conditioning must change. So instead of going out there trying to change what is out there, which is just a reflection or mirror, we're going to start focusing on how to change people's vibration inside so the world can change. Okay, let me go ahead and start the video. And everybody out there, if you guys can't hear the video, please let me know. This is a short video. If you want the video, I will send it to you. It's just a simple video that gives us the basis for what we're going to do next. And I want everybody just to listen. This is, I was connected with somebody, and I was mentoring someone, and she had seen this video before, but she didn't understand it till I broke it down for her. And she said, oh my God, it all makes sense now. And I think we already have the precursor to this video. So most of us will have this idea of how we are the creator. Because I started with the book, You Are the Creator. Last week, we talked about perceiving the creator, which is going into the mind and having a thought and seeing the perception from the perspective of the creator. And then on top of that, we step outside and recognize the law says, without a creator out here, I cannot be solid. So therefore, I have expectation there's a creator out here as well, because that's what makes me solid. So because the mind has to exist outside of us. That is an absolute fact. We can call it theoretical, but that is the nature of physics. That's the nature of science. That's the nature of spirituality. There is an awareness, there's a mind. We exist within the mind. So hopefully this video will do a good job.
The law of reversibility. If water can turn into steam, steam and water are the same thing vibrating on a different frequency. If circumstance can produce a feeling, then feeling can produce circumstance. Mass can turn into energy, and energy can turn into mass. This is science. Think of Einstein's E is mc squared. E is energy, m is mass, and c is speed of light. What you are seeking is also seeking you. Thoughts are waves. Waves carry frequencies and energy. Mass also carries frequency and energy. Mass is bound by space and time. Waves exist everywhere beyond space and time. If you can think of your desire, then it is already existing in another dimension in the quantum field. It just has no mass yet. All waves exist in the quantum field. The quantum levels are different realities, but your mind has the ability to pick up on that frequency. Everything is energy. Everything vibrates. Since thoughts are waves, they determine in what reality you live in. You are giving your thoughts energy through emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. Our emotions are the light in Einstein's equation. In order to quantum jump into your desired reality, you have to align your vibration to the frequency of your desire. That's where the subconscious mind comes in. This is why emotional control and thought control are vital. Change the paradigm in your subconscious mind. It is the subconscious mind that controls your vibration. It has almost exclusive control over your thoughts. Most of the thoughts you think today are the same thoughts you thought of yesterday. Place your attention, and therefore your emotions, which is energy in motion, on the thoughts you want to manifest, instead of the things you don't want to manifest. You have the power to consciously reject the thoughts you don't want to turn into mass. Reason why many people can't manifest what they want is because they rely only on their five senses. But not only do you have your five senses, you also have higher faculties. These are intuition, will, perception, reason, imagination, and memory. But we were never taught how to use those. We were taught to rely only on our five senses. That means we are letting the outside influence the inside. But we as humans create our own environment. That means what happens on the inside mirrors itself on the outside. The mirror principle. That's why there are whole bloodlines continuing the cycle of poverty and misfortune. Their five senses, which are connected to the conscious, rational mind, pick up on that. Because they are unaware of the fact that their inside mirrors itself into the outside, they accept the things their five senses pick up on.
Use your higher faculties to trick your five senses. It is the inside that mirrors itself into the outside. Your vibration determines in which reality you live in. Use your perception. Change how you perceive things. Use your imagination. Visualize the things you want instead of the things you don't want. Get yourself into the emotional state of the version of you that already has what you desire. Always be calm and relaxed. If you are not, it means your mind is in a state of lack and fear. Einstein said, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. You are constantly creating your reality. Start to consciously create the life you want today. I'm sure most of you have already heard about the power of liquids. Take some water or perfume, meditate on it, hold it in your hands while meditating and speak your affirmations onto it. For example, wealth, success, abundance. Do this for at least 11 minutes. Now, every time you drink the water or smell the perfume, it will remind you of your affirmations. Now think of the version of you that has everything you desire. Act and feel like this person. Thoughts that constantly repeated in your head will produce corresponding emotions. Thoughts that are felt make their way into your subconscious mind, the creative force that controls your life. From there, the energy of that thought's frequency gets passed onto your sympathetic nervous system. This energy is now a part of your DNA and affects your vibration. Your vibration attracts things to you that are in harmony with it. Not only that, your subconscious mind has almost exclusive control over your habits, which control your actions and therefore your results. 90% of your behavior is habitual. Your subconscious mind also controls your thoughts and feelings. Most of the thoughts you think today are the same thoughts you thought of yesterday. Take control of your thoughts and emotions. Change the paradigm in your subconscious mind and get the life you want. You can't be dual-minded when trying to manifest. You cannot manifest success while preparing for failure. You cannot think of success and feel fear of failure. You are neutralizing your manifestation. You cannot try to manifest wealth and be in a poverty consciousness. Everything you do, think, or feel has to align with your desired outcome. A dual mindset often comes from fear, or from the conscious beliefs not aligning with the subconscious beliefs. Stop looking around in your 3D asking where your manifestation is. You are neutralizing it that way. If you planted a seed for a peach tree and constantly dig it up to see if it is already growing, you're actually hindering it from growing. Plant the seed, which is your desired outcome, and let it grow. Trust that it is growing. See and feel it already realized. Be calm and relaxed, and it will grow. The universe works this way.
All right, I'm going to stop that and let's have some discussion about that. What do you guys think? Anybody out there, you want to raise your hand and jump on as the panelists, please do so. Again, this is a family affair. As an educator, I always said that every answer, every question, every idea is unique. It's a creation of yourself, so be free to express it. And we will see how we can support one another in a constructive alignment. All right. Anybody else would like to jump in? Just, agree, disagree. What do you think of the video? Go ahead, son.
Yeah. Hey,
panelists, jump in.
hey, I believe wholeheartedly in the vibration experience, that we are all a set of vibrations, and it kind of leads us to wherever we want to be based on how we think, how we feel, how we project our lives to be. I guess when the earth was created, it came from a vibrational word from the creator, you know, let there be light, let there be this, let there be that. And those vibrations manifested everything we see today. We have that power within us. I've been involved with vibrational thinking, studying quantum mechanics. I'm not a genius, but the bottom line is, if everything has a vibration, and if we can tune in to what it is, how we fit in that vibration, we can see things in a more positive light, or we can see things in a negative light. It's hard dealing with people who are stuck in a negative vibration. And by us not combating them, but by bringing our positive affirmations to them, by bringing our loving energy, by bringing our positive ideas, that vibration kind of negates them little by little. Nothing may happen right away, but in time, their outer shell, the negative vibrations, kind of blends into ours, and we can actually change lives that way. We can change mindsets that way. We can change other people's perspectives on life, and therefore putting them in a road to a positive vibration about helping their lives, helping their environment, helping everything that goes on around them. I live like this, so I'm happy to be involved, you know, with David and his vision and everything. But I want to make sure that even with the technologies are wonderful tools, but we're part of that technology.
Yes, yes.
So together, our vibrations, along with the frequencies that we bring forth to the people, are going to actually have a much profound impact on their lives in a positive sense.
So I really appreciate that feedback, because, and I will give Richard an opportunity to speak as well. But I wanted to add some things to what you say. You had some great points about, you know, the vibration energy and how we are engaged in it. And I think we have this mentality that we still operate on the outside, right? The outside is just a mirror, right? And if you look at a mirror, the mirror does not reflect unless you move. So if you ever stay in the mirror and then you wave, and the mirror does something else, I promise you're gonna leave that bathroom or whatever you at, wherever you're at, right? You're going to run out, because you're expecting, there's a level of expectation what your reflection needs to have. So the same expectation exists with the creation. When the creation has put forward out there resonance, which is the connection between you and your outer world, you can only get back what you have within, you know? So one of the things I've been really focused on is that if we're out here as the mirror, right? And the mirror is now for the first time, right? And that's what this technology does, is speaking back to the person on the outside. The mirror is saying, okay, this is what I need you to do so I can have the best experience, right? This is what we are doing now, because as above, so within, as I said, as above, so below, as within, so it's out. So now we're making that decision from within. It says, mirror, mirror on the wall, I need you, you know, y'all know the rhymes, I need you to do this for me. And the mirror now has to respond in kind. And then you are now recognized you're both the mirror and that who is creating the image. And so, and that's what is so profound. This technology that David and others have out in the world is a conduit to bridge the language. We haven't been speaking the language of spirituality. Okay? The stuff written in the book is a translation, it's an idea of spirituality, right? Whether it's a Christian doctrine, whether it is the Quran or whatever else doctrine, is a translation in a language that is limited, right? The language of energy is the universal language. And for the first time, we now have the ability to speak that language constructively, right? We can now say, I want to feel this way. So it's easy to say, I want to feel healthy when I'm sick, or I want to feel wealthy when I'm broke, right? We can say that on a stage and everybody, ooh, you're so awesome. But the person who is broke, busted, and disgusted, the person who is sickly, is not feeling that. And sometimes they might even get with the crowd, yeah. But when they go home, the pattern perpetuates, right? So how do you create the environment and the conditioning that with that person who is broke, when they go home, they're actually going home to a wealthy environment, right? To an environment that's conducive for wealth. Or what about the person who is sickly? They go home to an environment where the vibration is changing to that of health and wellness. This technology does that. It speaks the language that you need to be in, so that way the seed is planted for the transformation that best serves you. So I'm going to pause here. Maurice, I want to add this. If you run frequency, and that goes for everybody out there, if you run any frequency, there's a proportionality of that frequency. Proportion is close to similarity, but not congruency. It's not the exact same. It doesn't look the same, but it changes. So in the realm of mathematics, when you look at 1/2 looks nothing like 2/4. It's different numbers, right? 1/2, 2/4, 3/6 doesn't look alike. That is because they are not congruent. They're not the same. In mathematics, a difference between something being the same and congruent. Congruent means it is mirror, right? Similarity means it can shift proportionally. So let's say you're having financial challenge, and the numerator or the top number represents your financial success, right? The money you're making, all these different things. The bottom represents your debt obligations to that money, right? Let's say you run the abundance frequency. The abundant frequency doesn't just accelerate the numerator, it accelerates the denominator as well. So if you go from making $1,000 a month to $10,000 a month, your bills from $1,000 a month also increases proportionally. So even making 10,000, you're still broke, right? And making 30, 40, 50,000, you're still broke. Why? Because you haven't disconnected that. You haven't shifted from that level of proportionality. You're still seeing yourself as debt, asset, and then an increase in proportion. So when you're running, you want to neutralize this idea that you are attached to this. That's the fear part. I have these debt coming in, and these are part of my thoughts. Well, you have to learn to let that go and says, it is what it is until it becomes something else. I'm not putting any more energy in the debt. No matter what the struggles are, I will deal with it. I will be prepared for it. But focus my attention on the flow of the abundance, but not the money, because the money is attached to debt. Move it to what the money is going to bring you. That's how you sever the ties from that. So for me, I will run the frequency, not for abundance. I might run the frequency for money, but I know money is attached to debt because that's my belief system. But I might run joy, happiness, and love, and all those positivity and peace of mind. Those things that money is supposed to bring you, but it's no longer attached to the debt. Does that make sense? But we run to the money, and we run to the abundance in the money, and we realize that money is increasing, but the debt is also increasing. You can make $1 million, and then all of a sudden your child gets sick, and then you have $1 million in debt. Or you can say, you know something, my debt just got paid off. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Or my house is paid off, my car is paid off. A storm comes by, knock everything. Now that is a proportionality that just happened because it is stackable. You gain and you lost at the proportional rate because you still attached to this idea. Let this idea go and look at what is the outcome, the final outcome is going to be, and let that be your attention and your intention on joy, peace. Why do you want to go on a vacation? Because I want to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy nature. I want to enjoy the beach. I want to enjoy the water. Let that be that, and say, I need to make some money so I can go on vacation. You can still go on vacation and be miserable. So Richard, do you want to add anything to that? I just wanted to make sure I shared that proportional idea with us.
You and I had this discussion before, and I think it's really important that people focus on what is the end point that they're desiring, not how they get to that end point. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So you're saying if you desire to have peace in your life, you desire to have joy in your life, and you see money as the vehicle, the goal isn't money. No, the goal is the peace and the tranquility or joy in your life. So, right. So let's get those frequencies going. You can still run abundance, but the primary focus should be on the joy and the end point, where your true desire is, right? That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. You know what I love just now about Richard talking? I don't know if you guys missed that, I saw the hand movement. I was so excited watching the hand movement. There was no idea of I can't breathe and I need to sit still. Richard was into it. He was moving his faculty. And Richard, that was amazing because for me, that is what I see as the growth and the transformation. Those small steps, even though others may not have noticed it, I noticed it because the first time you were still, because every movement is going to break your breathing. Now it's hard. But now you're starting to shift. Yes, there might still be some strain, but yet you're moving in that direction. So I'm excited for you, man. I'm thankful that the technology is working. I'm thankful that our collaboration is supporting that. And I'm asking you guys out there, listen, we need to really come together to make it about these type of technology. David is doing a great job, and not just David, but Qi Life family to create the technology in a way that it's in your hands, right? It's not a huge machine. It's in your hands. You can carry anywhere. You can be at work, guys. You can be at work pissed off because you feel like somebody have pissed on you. Excuse my language, right? You know that is the highest level of festivity, right? There's the somebody call you names and you get pissed off, right? And then there's the other one where somebody's peeing on you. That's a whole new different level of being angry, right? I saw Tony's like, don't do it because I will catch a murder case. But that level, when you get to your job, when you get to that level of festivity, you need something to neutralize you because you create what I call stackables. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And those stackables will come due unless you know how to neutralize it. And that's what this technology does. People will say it's okay to be angry. No, it's not. Because when you get angry, you create reflections of that anger. And every action you put out will come back. It may not come back in the same way. Somebody yells at you and you yell at them. A lot of times it may not be that. It might be the money you're expecting doesn't come, all right? Or the family members that you thought was in alignment with you are not in alignment with you. So it will come in a different way so you can proportionally feel that hurt and that frustration that you projected outward. So be careful how you listen to those out there that says, it's okay to be in your emotion. There's nothing wrong with allowing you to say, I create this reality and take accountability for it. That's the accountability part most of us don't want to do. You cannot get to a destination. I don't care what technology you have. You cannot get to a destination until you first start with where you are. If you ignore where you are, you cannot get there. Don't let nobody make you believe that you can get somewhere without first acceptance of who you are and where you are. Richard is learning to accept himself unconditionally, and that is propelling him to go forward. That is that beginning point. And that beginning point, once you identify who you are, where you are, and love yourself unconditionally, then the overflow of that goes outward, and then you begin to use that to transform not just yourself, but the lives of others and your community. So guys, this technology is all about how do I shift, how do I zero myself out, and how do I create that environment? If I want, let's say if I'm having a good day, right? I'm having a great day, everything is going right. I'm running the abundance frequency. I'm saturating myself with that abundance frequency because I want that to replicate. If I'm having a bad day, I do not go to the abundance. If I'm running a bad day because I got bills and responsibility, you don't do that. You first have to run love, positivity, joy, all those things, so you can reverse that emotional state, because the emotional state is what feed the vibrational perpetuating on an ongoing basis. And it will keep going forever and ever.
So Jossie,
Go ahead,
Richard. So would you run love and that sort of thing, or would you run block negative thoughts? Which would you go to first?
I will go to love first, because the negative block has a connotation of the block, right? Okay. Countering the block means there's a block, right? I want to be able to disconnect, especially at the frequency level. I don't want this duality happening, because creation requires duality, but at the energetic level, everything is potential. So I don't want to go, I want to remove negativity, right? Because I earned the negativity. See, I earned the right to have that experience because of my reflection. What I want is, how do I shift? Remember I said at the beginning of our very first training, the number line, if you learn this in math, goes from 0, which is neutrality, to infinite positive and negative infinite, right? So That means the numbers represent characteristics of reality, aspect of reality, the duality of reality. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Neutrality is the only place that doesn't replicate, right? So we want to zero ourselves to that point. Then we can create. Here's the difference. When you create positivity, but you're vibrating on positivity, you will only see negativity, right? You will see it, you will perceive it because it's still an aspect of your duality, and you will have the heart to want to help it or connect with it. You just have to be careful how you connect to it because it could attach, right? So you want to say, you know something, I'm giving my best to that person and I want to inspire that person. But sometimes when you go and you emotionally attach to that person's pain, you're now shifting from that positive state of creativity back to that negative. So be careful when you do see the reflection as you're becoming abundant, wealthy, or success, or healthy. Don't focus on who is sick, right? Because that will attach you back. When somebody, and because people will start coming to you, Richard, I can't breathe, I can't do this. And Richard, all you're going to do is present them with tools. Is that's the seed. You'll give them the seed and give them an opportunity to go heal themselves and inspire themselves rather than saying, let me connect. Praying for people is amazing, but this technology is what that is. You know, praying with a person is connecting with that person. But with this technology, I don't have to pull your energy into me because that energy might be heavy. I may not be able to carry that load. I don't want to have to think about how hurt and sick you are all through my night. And then I have to have that experience. So you offer them the technology, say, go get this technology, and then train them on how to use it, because now you're teaching them how to fish. You're not giving them a fish. You're not saying God is going to do it. You're giving them some type of connection to transform their reality so they can tap into that creative force. Anybody else like to add?
Well said.
Well said.
So somebody have a question. Hi, this was my first meeting, and Jossie mentioned past recording. I would like to see the past recording. Will I get an email? Yes, we do have the academy. You can sign up for it and have all of the training. David has all the training, so I can send you the link. So if you want to email me, Jossie at QiLifeStore.com. That's Jossie, Qi Life Store, QI Life LIFE store.com. If you email me, I will send you the link. Or if you text me, since everybody's out here, I can give you my number. Everybody, if you want to write down my number so you have access to me. You guys are family now. So my number, my direct number is 469-493-5111. Now I do have a condition. If you do call me, you have to adopt me. Yeah. I'm looking for family, so you're gonna adopt me as either a step cousin. That is as low as I'm willing to go. I like brother and you know, uncle maybe, but step cousin is as far as I'm gonna go. Right, so you have to adopt me like Richard has adopted me. We're family, and you guys will be family as well. So if you call me, expect I'm gonna talk to you like we're family. We're not gonna be talking like we sent like it's synthetic and all that other stuff. So again, 469-493-5111. If you don't reach me, text me, give me your name, your information, how you reached out to me, and I will do my best to get back with you. And I truly do how to do that. Go ahead.
Is that a Texas number?
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm in Texas.
I'm
yeah.
just
Where is
okay. Is that DFW by any chance?
I was in DFW. I'm in Austin now. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay, I'm right here in Kyle. I'm right next door to you, buddy.
Okay, maybe we'll break bread. You know,
yeah.
I'm always looking to collaborate in person. So if anybody out there say, listen, I'm in the Austin area, let's break some bread. Let's get together, because like-minded said where 2 or 3 come together, transformation manifests faster because of like-mindedness. So let's do that. Let's celebrate each other. Let's celebrate how we can move to the next level. So I'm going to pause. Anybody else would like to add anything before we move on to the next topic?
Oh, sorry. Let's go.
Okay. So someone asked again for my email is JOSSIE, Jossie at QILIFE store.com. And then my phone number again is 469-493-5111. So Richard, I wanted to share something with you. It was interesting yesterday. A good friend of mine, brother, call me. He adopted me as a brother. So I was kind of excited about that. So he called me. He said, listen, there's a guy I want you to get on. He does reading. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. And so he said, I will send you the link to get on. So I was like, okay. I got on the call and I heard there was a couple of people and he was doing reading, higher level reading and stuff like that. And he was doing a phenomenal job. I saw the connection. And then he asked me what I liked reading. You know, there was that resistance. I don't know if I want to do that right now. You know, I was like, okay, I'll do it anyway. So he started reading me, which people do have those skills. If anybody tell you otherwise, that is not a fact. Right? So people are gifted to do that. So he read me. He said two things that is wrong with me. He said, well, it's not wrong. It's what is blocking everything. Because he said, you have done everything right. You're a star seed. You've been working diligently. He said, but before we move on to the problem, you need to understand there's no more work to be done. And I knew that, which was interesting, right? Because in 2011, there was a shift that was taking place on the earth, right? It was going from 3 density dimensional aspect to a 4th dimensional aspect. I actually got a download and saw the rip, right? It was a rip that I actually saw reality where the Anunnaki and other stuff came in. And I was meditating. I saw that reality. I saw the toxic reality that everybody talk about that is resembling Mars. We're going in that route. But then there was a split, right? Those of you that's in this reality must have shifted with that split. Now, what he says is that the work has been done because I think it was around that time where I saw the momentum of constructive positivity was a little bit more than the negativity, right? We have been distorted for so long that we are here, a lot of us are here as these agent of change, right? Catalysts to shift the vibrational nature of our planet. The planet's a beautiful retreat, right? Everything here exists elsewhere, but we come in here to have dominion, and we are the youngest within our galaxy and within our solar system. It's the youngest. All right? If you think you're wise, think again. There are creatures that looks like an onion that's smarter than you. That's a fact. And there's creatures that look like a tree that's smarter than you. So all those things that we see in nature exist as an intelligent force, but they're all represented here so we can have dominions over them, which is amazing. So we have now got to that place where we're now moving into self-reliance. This is why these technologies are important, because we no longer need politicians to decide we need peace. We no longer need government officials. We no longer need doctors to tell us that we need how we're going to get our health, right? We no longer need religious institutions to tell us what to believe, right? If they're not going to teach us how we can develop ourselves, then we can start to step back and say, this is not what serves me best. And that's what this shift is all about. So everybody out there, no matter what platform they're on, they're all doing this work on different levels. And whatever you synchronize with, that's what you're synchronizing with at that time. So love yourself where you are. Don't try to be them, because exactly where you are is where source, or whatever you want to call it, needs you to be. Exactly. Richard is doing exactly what he needs to do. He may not have done it all the rest of his previous lives, but he's doing it now because it's where he needs to be in this moment. So striving to compete, we're not in competition with one another. We're here to collaborate and love one another and allow that overflow of love to transform us holistically. So we don't have to get engaged in the politics, the wars. That we can go inward and say, this is not the reality I want to see, and begin to shift from that reality. And collectively, if we come together, we can do more, people. Stop waiting for somebody out there to do it for you. You can do more. Richard is doing it with his help. That obstacle Richard was on proportionally, it is like going through a 6th cancer, right? Trying to heal, trying to breathe, trying to do those things, guys, is hard. Don't underestimate the struggle and the challenge that comes with that, because it looks easy, right? It's because Richard has aligned with the help and with the rules and regulations of creation, and understanding that Richard now has aligned with it to support, and that which is in Richard is greater than that which is in the world. So don't underestimate that. If Richard can do that, proportionally, you can do the same in your life. You can become the billionaire. Make sure you reach out to me after then, because I definitely want to be adopted once you hit the billion. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. So if Tony hit that billion, Tony, I can call you Papa if you want me to call you. I don't care. What you say? Uncle Tony. I don't. I like.
Just don't Mister. That's all.
But yeah, all jokes aside, guys, all of us have our unique gift that comes together as a puzzle. No one is above you. No one is beneath you. We're all here equally as expressions of sorts. And now we are equipped with a tool that allows us to speak that language of who we are and what we want within our lives. Right? Anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, if I may, we're at a point now where the world is shifting to more of the positive vibes.
Yeah.
The negative vibes are being eliminated. We are all part of that movement in getting this vibration level higher than what it's been for the past few thousand years. So I think we're all here at the right place at the right time, and now it's time to project that energy to others and get them to see for themselves how they too can step into 4 and 5D. This consciousness is going to change. Not everybody can go though, and it's I guess it's on us to help people go with us.
Yeah.
4 and 5D existence, because that's a brand new world. Everyone who's stuck in 3D after a certain point, it's my belief that they'll be taken to another version of Earth while 4 and 5D remain here in a new improved, which what I call this is the Eden. This is the real Eden where everyone belongs. And I want as many people to go with us as possible.
That's an excellent point. I want everybody to also understand dimensional potential, right?
Yeah.
There is a relationship between 1 density and 15, right? So what I received a while back when I was seeking is the dimensional connection. So 1 dimension or 1 density is connected to 15. They are one in the same, right? 2 is 14. 3 is 13. So it goes in that order, right? So when we move to 4, we have now limit ourselves. That's why it's important to have compassion for what is beneath you and have connection to what is beneath you, because what is beneath you is higher than you. See? And so when we move to 4th density and 5th density, we talk about angelic beings, we talk about ascended masters. They are stuck. They need us, right? Because the lower we are, the higher we are above them, because they have now capped themselves. And that's how creation have made it. So no one is above anyone else. So when you get to 7 density, you're right there stuck between 7 and 8, right? That's where you are. So the nature of plasma, the nature of unity is below there. And that's why a lot of times they want to come back and reintegrate back into creation and have that connection back to the higher version of themselves. So everybody keep that in mind. Nothing's above you and nothing is beneath you. And so when you look at people that is less than you, more than likely they have a higher connection that is necessary for you to elevate yourself. So humility and humbling yourself is important. Now, going back to this guy, after he goes through all of this reading with me, he says there's 2 areas that you need to work on in order to release. I said, please tell me. I got excited. I was smiling. He says, self-neglect. It's like, okay. And I meditate on that. And he said, this was just yesterday. And he said, weakness. And I said, interesting. Because what I thought was practicing meekness has manifested into weakness. See, it's a difference between being meek and being weak, right? When you are out there in the world and you start to have this inferiority complex about yourself, practicing meekness, then you become weak to other people, and then you begin to reflect meekness, because there's a fine line. Then neglect, he says, you're out there pouring into people and pouring into others, and you're not allowing them to pour back into you, because you will have the mindset that they don't have to, because they don't have what is necessary to support you. And he said you have to change that. This was a guy that was telling me something that I'm being dealing with. He said the reason also you have this weakness because your dad gave it to you. I was really fed up with my dad after I heard that, because he said your dad passed down a generational curse of weakness to you that you have now, engaged in and actually embodied. So the people around you are going to treat you, especially the ones closest to you, are going to treat you as if you're weak until you make a stand that you are so much more than that. Because no matter how great you are, even when we talk about Isho, many knows him as Jesus, the people around him didn't give him the necessary respect. right? Whether it's Muhammad, whether it's Buddha, everybody around him always criticized. So the people closest to you are your greatest adversary. It's the ones that challenge you. They are the antagonists into your protagonist experiences. So understanding that, I said, oh, so he told me, you have to self-love, you have to accept yourself the same way you're putting it out there. You have to do the same thing I've been sharing with Richard. Go inward, right? But sometimes you feel like I need to muster more, because so many people need some more. And then he says there's no world to save anymore. So stop trying to save the world and try to have the best version of the world that you're in right now. And that was huge for me. So I no longer feel like I need to be chasing things anymore, trying to save the world, because there's no world for me to save. It's just a world for me to reflect and mirror and experience. So the world that, because it's all about creation. What world do I want to create? That is the mindset I'm code switching to. What world that I want to create that will allow me to have the maximum and the best experience? So I'm asking all of you out there, you have to come into that self-reflective mindset. What world do you want to live in that best serves you? If you feel like giving to others, that's fine, but then don't find excuses to why giving to others is a strain on you. You have to find the joy, and the joy of giving to others should be sufficient. You can say, I will give to others as they give unto me. That is also fine. There's no judgment in that, right? The goal is to eliminate those judgments within your lives as well. So you have to love yourself in a way where no matter what you put out there, your creation, it is okay, because there's infinite other potential. So that was the reading for me. So that helped me a lot to understand that I now have to be open to those out there that are saying, you know something, Jossie, I want to align with you. I want to work with you. Let's see how we can keep what we're doing moving forward. So I can support that. Or others can say, you know, Jossie, thank you. You've inspired me. And right now I'm not looking to adopt nobody, so I'm not going to adopt you this time. And that is okay. I love you just the same. There is no difference in how I feel about anybody. And I think that's what we need to do as we go out there. So I'm excited about this technology. So what I want to do is code switch really quick. I'm going to share the tablet so everybody can see how David and his team have improved the tablet and the frequency. So you guys will be able to customize the frequency that you want. So let me share my screen again. This tech, David has done and his team. I always say David and his team because it always takes a team. I've never been the one who believed that is one. It says where two or three. It never said where one comes together and make things happen, right? So I always give kudos to all those people. Guys, if you're out there supporting David, we appreciate you, right? We love you and we're thankful for you. We love David. We love you too. So everybody that's working with David, we love you. We want you guys to continue doing the work you're doing, and you are greatly appreciated. Right? So they have done, Boris, David, collaboration with the rest of the team have done a good job with this technology, because one of my biggest frustration before was trying to create a playlist. So if I want to shift, right, it's important. Remember, if I want to shift, I need to understand what do I need to neutralize, right? So he said, I need to neutralize my weakness. What does that weakness mean? Physically, emotionally, psychologically, right? So now with this technology, I can go into the program mode, right? And I can create a playlist to target that specific. So I will go in here and I'm going to type. Now I will hit just week. Okay, you don't have to be. I like to create words. I'm just using this for an example to get you guys. But I'll usually say strength or do the opposite, because I would know what that is, right? So one of the great things, I will go in there, click it, and then now I have a plus at the bottom, and they have quantum frequency, add right, add quantum. So now I can go through and see all of the quantum frequency will be listed, and I can go in here and type in exactly what I need. And now it gives me the frequency. And all I have to do is check these boxes and hit plus, and bam, they're in my playlist. It is done. But here's what makes this even great. I can go back to the plus and says, okay, what about Rife? What does Rife have for me that can support this journey? So I'll go in there, I'll do the same thing. And then this is Rife frequency. And all I'm going to do is check those boxes and add it. Yeah. And now I have my list of frequency. But this was my favorite, right? Let's say I'm having a conversation with someone and they told me, hey, Jossie, like, for example, I'm synchronized with some numbers. 1111 comes up a lot, 111, 11, 11, 111. So let's say somebody comes and say, man, I came across 1111 and it did all this thing for me. So I was like, 1111, interesting. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in 11.11 and I'm going to hit add. And it's going to add 1111 frequency to my playlist. So now this is huge because now David has now bridged you to the world. This is not about, and David and his team, this is now that you can now collaborate with other frequencies with this technology. You can now say, I know 256, but 256 is already in here. What about 256.9678? I heard that. I heard it was a good frequency. Let's see if it can work here. So now you can customize. So if you hear of a frequency, if you heard of some type of hertz out there that people are raving about, you don't have to go buy that technology. You don't have to go buy nothing. You come right here and customize your frequency playlist directly aligning with the frequency. And so creating this playlist is huge because it makes life a little bit easier. And then I can just hit play and move on, right? Because so many things you're going to be changing up. So let's say the next situation is like, I need to work on my health, on my health issues, whatever I'm having. So now we'll go in there and says, okay, this one is done. Let's move on. Go back to program. Hit that again and says, okay, what other playlists? So for example, if you look at my playlist, I have one that says greatness, right? I have autism. I have self-love. I have joy and love of self. I have wisdom. So you have all these different these little playlists. I have blood pressure. My spiritual development requires me to have my blood pressure always elevated. I don't know why. That is something that comes with enhancing the body. My blood pressure, no matter what I do, no matter how much I exercise, no matter what I eat, it just stays high, but I'm okay, right? It's just when it's not properly balanced, but it stays like, I'm talking about 190 over 185. And it freaks everybody out. But when I go to the doctor, there's nothing they can see. And so I know it's just expansion for me. I'm not saying everybody, please don't follow that. Don't say Jossie said my blood pressure is 230 and over 205. I'm okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying everybody is unique. Know yourself. Go to the doctor. If the doctor can't find what is wrong, more than likely expansion is happening within you. Well, one of my favorite is luck. I have that luck frequency because, when I think of luck, I don't think of anything negative that comes with luck. So I have a luck playlist, and here's my luck playlist. And my playlist for luck is 2 hours and 56 minutes. So I'll play and go to sleep. And it has rife, it has abundance, so when it's running the luck, I'm adding some abundance to it. So there's a collection. So this allows me to actually manipulate the frequency and have my collective playlist, because remember, you're healing yourself holistically and you can now compartmentalize the area. Okay. If you want money, I don't think I have a money list, but I can easily create one. Someone can say, hey, listen, I know what you said, Mr. Gallizia, Jossie, it sounds good, but I need them papers. Okay. I'll say, okay, type in money, and you can type in and create your playlist. Okay. And then go up here and hit money, and then go find the frequency by hitting the plus. What frequency at the quantum level will give me an idea of money? And then I will type in money up here. Let me spell that right. Now you can see all the money frequency comes up, and I'm checking all of them because I'm like some of you out there. I need all of that. I'm gonna check all of it because you have to purchase all of these different versions of it. But the more you have, the more expansive you can move yourself. So that's why David have these different levels. tablets, because if you have all of it, you're able to manipulate more. And so as abundance is coming and flowing into your life, and you can afford to upgrade on the tablet, upgrade so you have access, because now you create this flexibility. So now I run all the money, okay, and then I hit done, add those, and then I'm gonna go to Rife, and I'm gonna see what does Rife have for money. And Rife has, I guess, did I type in right? Oh, yes, money. It doesn't look like some money frequency, so you might want to look at it before. Acute pain. I don't think that is maybe. Remember I talk about money comes with problem. Maybe the Rife is telling you something. Stress about that money, you're gonna have some acute pain in your life, right? But whatever it is, that's what came up. So just be careful as you go through it and be able to check the one out, because everything energy overlaps into so many different things as far as frequencies. And so when you type in a word, you might see a whole list. Just make sure you go through what is necessary, and it's just a check of boxes. So that is the technology. That is a tablet. You know, when you get this technology and you upgrade the tablet, you have access. This is this is easier to work with. I mean, you can now customize your reality. I wish that, the opportunity will come with everybody. So one of the things I'm working on is trying to raise capital to bring some of this technology into the schools, right? Because I want to really get this technology into the schools where we can run some of these frequencies on these kids. So that way what they're resonating with, what they're vibrating can shift, because they're in poverty. I heard a young man talk about it, when he comes to school, is the only refuge he has. When he go home, he has to put on another hat to be a gangster. And they're talking about 12 years old, right? But if we can change that vibration and draw them more and attract them more to the schools, support the teachers, support the educators, that becomes the hub where it can overlap into other environment. Because you cannot judge frequency. Like religious, we have different religious ideologies, so everybody is fighting each other. Shut up, my religion has the God, your religion has a God, and all this other stuff. But frequency, it is neutral, right? And we can put it anywhere. And I would like to see this not just in schools, but also in nursing homes, right? We can run health in nursing homes. So there's so much potential with this technology, but we need a community to help with this. We need all of you guys that believe in this technology. Let's speak more about it. Let's resonate more about it. Let's see it out there more, because if we can see and visualize, it's going to be just like a cell phone in everybody's home. Everybody's leveraging and using it to develop themselves. And I think with that, we definitely can change the world in a positive way and positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think of the technology upgrade?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And so, guys, call me if you need, listen, if you said, Jossie, I cannot afford this, I cannot afford that, call me. I will talk to David. You and I will have a conversation. We'll maybe be able to work something out to get you, because we want to make sure everybody's moving, because I know if your vibration shift, you're going to walk into the abundance that will allow you to have more. I'll give you this last testimony. A young lady, manifested. She came in. She said the same thing to me. I said, "Well, you resonate abundance." She said, "Well, I don't see that, but I would really like Qi Coil." So I sent her just a couple of frequencies. Was the love frequency and positivity, and she ran it. And then all of a sudden, she and David interact with one another, and then David got her technology. And then she got that one technology, ran it for a while. And then she said, "I don't feel the change." I said, "The change is there." But she always thought the bigger, the better. So one day somebody came onto the website, wanted to return the technology for whatever reason. It wasn't working for them, or they didn't believe in it, which is fine. That's somebody else's success. And that person actually found her name and mailed everything to her. So she had all the technology and all of the amazing technology that's here. So you'll never know how the universe, how source God is going to conspire to bring it to you. So to Maurice and to everybody out there, recognize where you are and plant that seed, and not stress too much of how that seed is being manifested, right? Focus on how to feed it. And that's what this technology does. This is the water. This is the sunlight. This is how you feed the situation in you. And in time, those roots will be well established, and you will never have to go back again to being in whatever struggle that you're dealing with. So I encourage everybody to really take second, third, fourth, and fifth look at this technology, spread the word, and let's inspire people. Let's change the world from within. Sick and tired trying to change the world out there, and we're not getting it done. So that is it for me. So if you guys don't have any, I know questions going to be short today for me because I have to jump into a training. I have some kids that I'm committed to, and I have to jump and train them. I do training for kids with autism and learning disability. I try to get them to see the same wisdom and the same love and compassion. We're trying to bring that also through this program where we can bring family members and everybody will train you on how to best support your kids when they're experiencing divergent style of thinking or they're connecting to a different aspect of reality that we can perceive as normal or we perceive as normal, right? So if you have any question, you have my email me. I will get back with you. I will turn it over to the panelists. Anything you guys would like to add in closing? You guys have been phenomenal. Sorry for doing a lot of talking, but I just want to make sure I got a lot of stuff out there. Richard, you like to add anything to close? And Tony?
Well, I would just say, so this last week has been pretty amazing without oxygen. I was telling Jossie that today I pray Divine Mercy every day between 3 and 4. And for me, it's about a 9-minute and 30-second prayer. And many times I sub-vocalize it because I run out of oxygen when I'm on oxygen. So today, I spoke the whole thing without oxygen, without stop. And I took my oxygen pulsometer, and I measured, and I was able to maintain an PSO2 level of 94 to 95 during that whole time. And I would have never thought this was possible. Okay, so yeah, this is changing my life, no question.
I did push
without oxygen. When people see me without my oxygen, they freak out. They go, what happened to your oxygen? Are you okay? And I go, it's hanging there on my, yeah, it's hanging on my chair. I can use it whenever I want, but I don't need it. So, yeah.
And I did push Richard a little bit. Richard and I had a conversation. I was telling him it's time to start strengthening his lungs now, right? And we talked about whatever apparatus he has to start breathing into inhale and exhale, and so hopefully he'll get that so he can start getting to the next level. But Richard has his new lungs. If you don't believe it out there, that's on you. That's your distortion. Richard, I'm waiting on your new lungs. You got this.
Well, right, they're not fully there. I still have my periods where I'm up and all of a sudden, my oxygen drops down to like 85 and I feel it. So if I'm standing many times, I just stop where I am and I think about it, I go, I'm okay.
There you go.
I'm not going to sit down. I'm not going to go for the oxygen. I'm going to stand here until I'm okay. And usually within 30 or 40 seconds, I'm back to normal again. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so pretty cool. By the way, Josh, I sent you a link to a video I want you to watch. Tony Seba, I don't know if you know that name, but he's talking about how our world is, in the next 30 years, you're not going to recognize the world because we're not going to be burning gas. We're not going to be doing any of that stuff. And it's going to be total abundance for everybody. Yep. The challenge then will be, what will you do to find meaning in your life because you won't have to work? Think about that. Just think about that. Ponder what that will be.
And for everybody out there, that world requires a shift, right?
Oh, it will cause a shift. Yeah. Our planet will never be cleaner. We will not be doing nuclear. We will not be doing gasoline. We won't be doing any of that stuff. So everything in nature will come back. Oh, yeah.
And notice Richard have now seen that reality, right? Because it's now come into his system, right? So whenever you begin to shift, right? Richard is now shifting. Yeah. That is now his potential. Some of you out there that still believing in fear, sorry, you're not going to make it. You're not going to go because the reality is already in existence. It's already here. We just haven't perceived it, right? So yeah. as the more we tune in, the more we connect to what we see out there, the more we're stuck in here. But Richard, I'm so excited you said that because now it inspires me to know, hey, I'm getting to let all this stuff go. So all of the craziness, when I see on the news, I'm going to turn it off because I'm not connecting with it, right? Because it is behind. It's part of our past.
It's old. Yeah, it's the past. We're moving forward.
And don't think we're being insensitive to the distortion that's out there. But what keeps me at peace at night is to know that every being on this planet is eternal, right? I know this for a fact. So, and as I share with Richard and others, I've had an experience where I've shifted my brother who was conceived while my mother was on her period. She had an abortion. I met him in a different realm, and he shared with me about how we come in for a season, for a reason, for a purpose. I even met my brother who passed away and met him. He says he came in for a season to be the antagonist into my existence so it can help me evolve. You never know what needs to happen. But on a higher level, we are all eternal. We are all divine. We are all beyond comprehension. This is just a spark. So don't get caught up in the fear of the spark, right? Just be the best version you can be in each moment, and everything else will be okay. There's things we can't control. We can't control the distortions out there. All we can do is go inward and try to be hopeful and positive, not connect with it. We don't want to connect with death and destruction. Go in with love and compassion and positivity and feed that. And then ultimately you'll begin to see what Richard sees and what others are seeing, which that life is good. Life is amazing. Life is abundant. Life is prosperous. Life is all of that and a bag of chip. You just have to align with it. All life can be contrary to that for you. Right? You believe in hell, you're going to experience hell. You believe in the devil, you're going to experience the devil. You believe in God and the love of God, you're going to experience that. Whatever you choose to believe, so be it. Right?
Roger that.
I love you guys. Tony, you want to add anything in closing?
Yeah, I just want to let people know because they don't know my story, but my wife has just beat cancer after 1.5 years, and utilizing these frequencies helped her bypass all of her, I guess, associates who were at her oncologist's office. She did much better. She had much strength. She went through the chemo and radiation, like many do with some complications. But if it wasn't for this technology, she would not be cured. I believe that wholeheartedly in my heart. I pushed it. I argued with her. No one wanted to believe that it would work. But because I come from a technical background, I basically just said, let's just do this because, what else do you have to lose? And sure enough, even when we disbanded it for a week or two and not did it, she said, hey, sweetheart, put it back on.
There you go.
And we did. And she's free and clear now. Now she's got some complications from surgery, but she's training on that. She's working on that. She's got energy. She's working out. I got my girl back. And after 48 years, it's hard to lose your girl or the thought.
Righteous. That is awesome. That is awesome. And like even her recovery, find the other frequencies out there. And see which one can support her in that developmental process. You have guys, don't become overwhelmed with all the frequencies. The frequencies are, it's like being in a candy store. You can't eat all the candy at once. You can go into Walmart or whatever grocery store, Target, whatever you go. You can't grab everything at once. You grab what you need, you use it, and then you grab what else you need, and you begin to expand, and you go to other stores.
You'll find them. You'll find them. You'll just be led to them.
Absolutely. You are the creator. It begins and it ends with you. And I'll leave on that note. I love you guys. And may we continue to transform our lives, and so we can transform our collective. You guys are amazing. Let's keep this journey going in the light and in the positivity and love. Okay.